Hi, everybody. I'm Josh Byerly here in Mission Control, Houston. I am joined by Amelia Rye. She is part of the International Space Station Program Science Team. So she's going to be here probably answering most of your questions. I'll be here for the basic ones, but so we're ready to take your questions whenever you are ready over there.
Right. Hi. My name's Amy Cordero, and so Amelia, your bio mentions various outreach programs you've done. I'm familiar with some of them. I'm from Austin, Texas. My question is, what got you interested in education outreach, and what is your favorite part about it?
Education outreach to me is a form of mentorship, and it allows me to pay forward what I've experienced in my career. I've had the benefit of many mentors as I've changed roles throughout my career, and this to me is an important job as far as recruiting future talent. So, what I enjoy most is the opportunity to potentially affect, the future of one of the students that I could mentor.
It's a good question.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Miner, and my question is, if our ability to fully understand space is limited by light and other factors in outer space, why do you believe it's important to begin space research, and how can it benefit our society?
Space research is so important in so many ways. You know, researchers have curiosity, and curiosity is what drives what we do. The deeper the level of curiosity, the more that we can uncover. A parallel would be like your education. You know, you start out with a bachelor's degree, you maintain that level of curiosity, you consider maybe pursuing the master's, maybe the PhD, and with each advanced degree, you're learning more. So research is similar. The parallel would be that with continued research, you just uncover more. So it drives what we learn that we bring back benefits to the earth for. For example, you can have a hypothesis in the lab that your outcomes are completely different from what you expected, but what you uncover is equally valuable, and it can be translated sometimes into completely non-related fields. If you take the robotics research that was done in creating the Canadian arm, you can translate that into the medical industry, and there have been individuals diagnosed with tumors that were inoperable. But if you have, computer-based operations that are guided, you have more precision capability than if a human hand was performing that same surgery. So these individuals that have the benefit of this technology have a second chance at life. So that's one of the benefits. Another, in a completely different field, would be, the purview from which we have a view of Earth from station. If you were to take photographs, which we do, we take imagery from station, and we have the opportunity to conduct Earth observations. Things, for example, like right, you can see beautiful things that, like the aurora, or you could see things that can benefit us in terms of disaster preparedness. Volcanic eruptions, we don't see them from that purview, but you can. Global change. The melting of glaciers. That's another opportunity to see how the surface of the Earth changes over time.
By the way, in case you guys saw that picture that just popped up on the screen that Seth put up there, that is actually the cities of Houston, Dallas, Austin is in there, San Antonio is in there, and Waco, Temple, Killeen, that sort of area. So that's on the internet. In case you saw that, that's I know some of you are from Austin, some other places. That's your hometown down there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, I'm Abigail. I'm from Western North Carolina, and I just want to know why you think it's important to be constantly researching topics in science, especially on the ISS.
And this ties into the question that was just asked. It's about continuing your research so that you can go to that deeper level of understanding. Curiosity doesn't have like a terminal point. I mean, you're as curious as you desire to be. So, with continued curiosity, there's an opportunity to learn more. And the more we know, the more we can, live the best possible lives here on Earth.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, my name is Lauren Sherwood, and my question was, what role do international relations play in your daily work?
That's a really good question. So, since I joined the program science office, I have this great opportunity on a monthly basis to take part in monthly telecons with our international partners. And if you think about it, it's so fascinating that we are connected from all over the world: Japan, Canada, Russia. We are in a telecon. It's morning in one place, it's afternoon in another, and it's evening somewhere else. But we all take that time out of our non-business hours to conduct our shared vision on products that we are producing in the program science office as a team, so that we can bring all of what we learn to the public.
Well, and people, to add to that, these different control rooms, like here in Mission Control, they talk with people in Japan and Russia and Canada and Europe and I mean, all over the place every single day. And even the people in our office, the public affairs officers, there's a handful of us that get to travel 4 times a year over to Russia and Kazakhstan for the Soyuz launch and landings. That's where we launch and land our astronauts now that we don't have a space shuttle. So we work with those guys very closely over there, and something that you grow up and you don't really ever picture yourself doing something like that. But whenever you work for something like NASA, it's
so true.
It becomes not normal, but we take it for granted. So
we do.
It's a fun job.
And I'm still at that point where I'm still excited about it. I haven't taken it for granted quite yet, and I hope I don't.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, my name's Belinda Grunfeld. I'm from New York. I was wondering how working with the ISS and NASA has changed your perspective on daily life.
Working with NASA and the International Space Station is so powerful, really. If you have a conversation with a neighbor, with a family member, you can still see how NASA has that brand that just resonates with people, brings them back to memories of Apollo, shuttle memories, and, what the future has in store for us. So the brand identity that the NASA meatball, so to speak, holds is it's powerful, and I feel so fortunate to be a part of that.
And also, I think, at least I grew up in Texas, and if you met somebody when I was growing up that's from the upper northeast coast or something like that, they were considered so far away. And when you work here, you work with people all over the world, and it's just normal. You realize this is a very small planet we live on, and everybody is much, I think, more closely aligned than we are different. And that's one thing. You can talk to people in Japan, like I talked about, and Russia and places like that, and it's just kind of. It's just normal.
It just feels like they're sitting right next to you.
Yeah, it feels like they're right next to you. So.
True.
Thank you.
Hello there. I'm Maylena Renzi from Peachtree City, Georgia, and I would like to know, how do you remain calm and collected during a stressful moment in mission control?
So the flight controllers are highly trained. To allow the distress to take you over is really a decision. It has to be a conscious decision to stay calm, and it requires practice. And they conduct simulations in their practice where they prepare for the anomalies, they prepare for those unexpected events. So when they do happen, if they happen, it's not the first time that they've seen this, and so it affords them the opportunity to be somewhat prepared. To stay focused, it allows you to think more clearly. So it's in your best interest to develop that skill as best you can, and it allows you to find that resolution that much more quickly. So it's a decision.
And I think that's what shocks people the most, just when they've seen the movies and they see a pretty crazy environment here inside Mission Control. And the first time that I came here years ago, that was the thing that shocked me the most, is that it's not like that at all. It is so calm,
right,
and so professional and so quiet. There's no dramatic music playing or anything like that. All people are just very focused on their jobs, and we could have a major issue happening, and if you walked in here and you stood in the room, you probably wouldn't even know it unless you were listening to the headset. But you're looking at Brian Smith, that's the flight director sitting there on the far right hand side, and the Capcom is there on the left. But those guys are pretty much in charge of this team here, and it's just incredibly focused and incredibly they just work their jobs. It's very solid.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Nina Singh from Kansas City, Kansas, and I was wondering, what do you think is the next step in space research in the ISS and in the future in general?
From my perspective and in the work that I do in the program science office, our focus right now is to bring in new researchers. We want to expand the use of our platform. This is a national lab that is open and available for use. So I'm working on a 15-book set of, it's a series of books by discipline that we hope will connect the experts in those disciplines to the potential use of the platform. You know, folks don't realize that they may be able to translate their ground-based research onto the ISS. So that is the hope for these books, that we're going to get it into the hands of the right researchers and that it's going to bring in new users.
And that it's not hard. I mean, that's really, I
Correct.
think, one of the biggest things is that, you know, people think, oh my gosh, how can I even, you know, if I'm a scientist, how can I even get my research up on board the space station? Here's this huge laboratory, and it's not.
That's right.
I mean, it's more than just filling out a form, but it's, you know, it's not. We're trying to make it easier for scientists to actually have access to it. So.
Right.
All right, thank you.
That's a cool T-shirt.
Hi, my name is Abigail Lindsay, and I'm from Mobile, Alabama. And I was wondering, as a successful woman in STEM, what discouragement have you had to overcome, and what encouragement and advice would you give to girls interested in STEM?
So I'll start with the encouragement. I think that one of the best things that you can do is learn how to work well in a team environment, because that is so much what we do. In addition, have an understanding of the value that diversity brings to a team environment, because you don't want to be on a team with clones of yourself, because really you're all going to derive the same answer or the same approach to an issue. But when you have diversity, you have the opportunity to see things from multiple perspectives and come up with the most innovative solution to the issue. And finally, be open-minded about those different approaches so that your team members feel comfortable working with you. So disadvantages, don't look at any disappointments as a failure. Just move through them and, find that silver lining, because I believe there always is one. There's an opportunity to learn. So a disadvantage isn't a negative. It's just an opportunity to grow. So just keep that momentum through that disadvantage and find that light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Megan Cooney, and I would like to know, what personality traits and characteristics do you think are most important to be a successful woman in a STEM career?
I think it starts with knowing yourself, and it requires some introspection as you grow and learn more about yourself. But when you know what motivates you, you're going to do your best, and you're going to want to come to work every day just like we do, and you're going to excel, because being at work isn't a job, it's a career, and you feel pride in the work that you're conducting.
Yeah, we just talked to Peggy Whitson and Pam Melroy, two pretty famous astronauts, and the two women commanders. One was SES-120 commander, one was the Expedition 16 commander, and I kind of asked them the same sort of question, for people who are going into science, how do they figure out what they want? And they both sort of said the same thing, which is you got to follow your passion, and that's to Amelia's answer. You got to know yourself. You really got to go find something that you really love to do, because there's a shot of Peggy on the right, and Pam on the left, but you got to go find what your passion is and chase after it, and that'll lead to success. That's probably the most important thing I think everybody in this room would tell you.
Agreed.
All right, thank you.
Hi, I'm Nora Chakouti, and I was wondering, how important is outreach in drawing awareness to NASA and creating an interest in STEM fields?
That's a really important question. It is so important. In parallel to the really cool and interesting stuff we're doing, we need to recruit our future talent. So that's the job that we need to do to secure those students that are focusing on STEM, who are going to be our future astronauts, our future business leaders, our future scientists. We need to make sure we have that pool of candidates that we can draw from. So it's extremely important.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Hi, I'm Nikki Thuresia from Saratoga, California, and I was wondering, having seen science and research both in their incipients at ISEF and at their apex at the ISS, Have you seen any progression and growth? And if so, what would you advise those interested in research and science to focus on and pursue?
So this goes back to following, what motivates you. If you try and follow a career path that someone that you admire has followed, then you're really not doing anything unique. You can certainly look to them as role models, but what's going to bring you to your highest level of success, or to use your words, the apex of your capabilities, is to follow what gives that fire to your soul, and really just pursue what motivates you and drives you. So it's less about choosing a focus area and more about just allowing yourself to lead you. You're going to be leading yourself to your own interests.
Good question.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Katie Morris and I'm from Alabama, and my question is, did you have a mentor on your road to success, and if so, what did they teach you?
That is a really good question, and it's an important one too. I have had multiple mentors through my career, and I will continue to. Mentorship isn't always formal. Sometimes it can be informal. It's someone you're sitting next to, and you have to seize that opportunity. And I also believe that part of growing in your career is to be both a mentor and a protege throughout your career. On the one hand, you're sharing your skills and paying it forward, so to speak, and on the other hand, you're still leaving yourself open to learning when you're a protege. So I think that it benefits us all to be both a mentor and protege throughout our entire careers.
And I think it's good if you have several different mentors. You need to kind of sort of steal from the best through several different people. You don't want to model yourself after just one person. You kind of want to pull from the best of several different ones and kind of create your own self or whatever it is. But I think that's always served people best, is to sort of
That's true.
have a wide variety of people that you sort of model yourself after.
And to add to that, Josh, I think it's so important to not be shy. I have approached some of the best mentorship that I've received has been through me just approaching someone and saying, do you have some time to sit down with me and talk
pick
to
the
me?
brain. Yeah.
And it creates professional contacts that you might be able to connect with in the future.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I'm Ivy Chang from Arizona, and my question is, what part of research that has been conducted on the ISS did you find unexpected, yet at the same time very intriguing?
I think the student research is always fun. You may recall, Josh, there was a school in San Diego where I believe it was a Hebrew Academy, and they wanted to test some principles in electrostatics. So they had the astronauts charge like a plastic tube, and introduce a water droplet to that tube, and what they assumed would happen, I believe, was that the water droplet would just free form through microgravity, but in reality what happened was there was an attraction with the opposite charges, and then that water droplet began to orbit the tubing, and it was not only a surprise to the students but to the astronauts as well. So that was one of the exciting experiments that was conducted. So the students, they always bring a level of fun to what we do.
Well, you guys probably have seen this before. We had spiders on board. We've had spiders actually up there several times, but we were watching, I think it was back during a shuttle mission, we had this spider that wove this web up in space, and it was just crazy. It wasn't symmetrical at all, and then it tore it down and then built another one that was perfectly symmetrical. And it's like if a spider, which has a brain, significantly smaller than anything else, can figure out how to adapt to no gravity, what can we do ultimately, which is fascinating.
That's right. It was about adaptation.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, my name is Briley Lewis, and I'm from Orange, California. And my question is, having designed your books to bring in new researchers, what would you look for in a new researcher, like qualities or experiences?
So the researchers that we would likely be attracting is folks that probably have their doctorates in their disciplines and already have existing ground-based research that they could potentially translate to the platform and take advantage of the microgravity environment, which would afford them findings that they wouldn't see in a lab on Earth. So that's the population of researchers that we're looking for.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Hi, my name is Sarah Crawford from New York, and my question is, do you feel like being a woman has helped you in your field or hindered, and why?
I don't feel like it has helped or hindered me to be a woman. I don't think that it is in my best interest to focus on things I can't control, like my gender. I think it's more valuable to use that energy and that effort towards focusing on your capabilities and focusing on being the best candidate for the jobs that you want to pursue. So I wouldn't focus on gender or anything that you can't control. Definitely put the focus where it's going to benefit you the most and have the greatest dividends for your career development.
Yeah.
It's a good question.
So we got about 5 minutes left. Are there any other questions? You can step on up and not be nervous. Come on.
Hi, I'm Morgan Kemmerlin. I'm from Georgia. And I was just wondering, because you were asking about having more researchers come in, are there any specific fields of research that you would like to have more research?
That's a good question.
That's a very good question. We have multiple disciplines that we are creating the books in support of. I am working right now on the rodent science book. We are in the process of writing the plant book, technology demonstration. The list goes on, and they're all going to be available online, which is a nice resource for all. There's no limit. We don't want to limit what we can do on station, but that's the focus right now. Those are the books that I'm currently working on.
So we got time for about one more. Good question.
Hi, I'm Ellis. I'm from Colorado, and I was wondering what your favorite research experiment currently on the ISS is.
Ooh.
That's a good one. I haven't thought about that.
I can tell you mine. I think we've talked about it before. Mine's EarthCam, which is the one that's the Sally Ride EarthCam. She started this back on the shuttle and then put it on board the space station, and it's really a chance for you guys, and we're about to have one coming up. I think July 9th, there's another one that's going to be run where you get to pick what this camera points down at on Earth and takes photos of, and some of the students' photos have just been incredibly remarkable. But we've had something like 50,000 students participate in this, which is just awesome. So that's mine.
That's probably up there. I'm gonna have to think about that a little bit more. I think there's more than one that I like, so I haven't picked a favorite.
Yeah, it's hard to ask the science guys what their favorite experiment is because they're kind of over all of them, so they can't really pick a favorite child. But there's a lot, and if you guys ever want to read about them or take a look at some of the stuff Amelia works on, you can always go to the NASA website, which is nasa.gov/station. That's the space station homepage. But if you look on the left-hand side of the page, whenever you go there, there's a button that says Research and Technology, and if you click on that, it'll open up, and you can pick it by expedition. So we're on Expedition 36 now. You can pick it by disciplines. You can take a look at all the different biology experiments, all the different physics experiments. I mean, some things that some of us don't even understand down here on the ground, but you get to see the hundreds of experiments that this crew actually works on, and also the Earth benefits in terms of, not only what does this mean to spaceflight, but also what does it mean right here on Earth, because sometimes there's impacts here on Earth that we don't really even anticipate that actually improve life here on Earth and our lives here. So all good questions. We want to thank you guys for joining us here on NASA Television and talking with Amelia. Amelia, thank you very much for taking time out of your day.
My pleasure.
But we hope you guys enjoyed it, and we hope you enjoy your time down here as part of the WISH group.
Thank you.
Thank you.